Hey guys, Sandy Freshy here, back with a video for my Human Design Experiment channel. It is the last day of school for me, the last day of classes. I'm just getting ready to drive in, and I have a few minutes, so I wanted to just kind of update you on some of the things that are happening around in my life. I did get finally accepted to full-time full-time graduate school. So it's about to ramp up here in the summer. Uh, and this leads me to want to update you around if you've been on my channel for a while or been subscribed for a while, you know that I've really slacked off on providing video content around human design, and part of that is because I am busy, because I am conserving my energy and focusing it in to the places where I have discovered through my experimentation with my design as a 3-5 splenic projector environment of narrow valleys. For those of you who are into the deeper dive, I have discovered my environment at the university level, and I have discovered that as I've dialed into my own frequency as a 3-5 splenic projector, that my life is taking me down my trajectory. So this has kind of left me with not a lot of energy to do videos. And if you've tuned in lately, you know that I've been playing with a podcast with another projector, and both of us are splenic projectors, and we're kind of inconsistent, and we have to wait a little bit for everything to kind of line up, and we do really love our podcast, our conversations. However, I don't promise that they come out on a regular basis. They come out when we have something to say. And the same is true with the other videos that I'll probably continue to put up infrequently on this channel. When I have something to say about human design, about the human design experiment, I will go ahead and put that up when time allows, when energy allows. And I want to just dial into a little bit here some things I've been thinking about that have kind of come together, and I'm still sort of rooting around in it. Yesterday, I had a mindful art meditation event, and this is sort of where my life is taking me. I'm in graduate school for clinical mental health counseling, and my other passion is really bringing mindfulness into the art and creative space. So as a result, I've been following my intuition. I've been feeling into the timing of things, and I'm experimenting with offering some mindful meditation online sessions, online group events. And you can check that out at makeartmeditate.com if that interests you. And my focus is my intention is to really cultivate a simplicity or an offering that embodies simplicity. Because as I've dialed into my own design, I understand that my abundance comes from simplicity. It's kind of like, the guides out there, the energies out there, like, hey, when you get too complicated, we can't really get in and work through you. The energy can't get in and work through me. And if that resonates with you, take that and use it. I know it doesn't resonate with everyone to dial into simplicity. it actually isn't, for some people, they're designed to be a little bit more complicated, or to be able to manage things that are multifaceted and more complicated. However, for me, I'm just dialing into simplicity through the work of mindful art and meditation, the simplicity of producing some podcast episodes that feel fun and light and uh, informative, uh, in co-creation and collaboration with another person. And then there's this other aspect of the simplicity of focus on my studies. And that's the growth edge right now, because it's about to get complicated if I allow it to be. And how do I manage my energy in light of the multiple things that are happening in my life, in addition to the orchard, which is back there somewhere. You can see the trees sort of in the corner there. And how do I make this as simple as possible, make this cycling through of my passions possible, as I'm being called forward into them. And if that resonates with you, please take that and work with it, contemplate on it, work with it, come back and tell me how you're working with that in the comments. And I had another thought. What was that thought? Before I turn on this car and meander into campus, I had a thought about not only the simplicity, focusing on simplicity. It has to do with being a projector and being in a place where you're really dialed into or living from the essence of your design. And I digress. Let me go back, because I think I skipped ahead. I was teaching a class in mindful art and meditation yesterday, and the after conversation included some insights about human design. And one of the things that I expressed in this after conversation is that it takes a long time to really dial into your frequency, to really embody it. Ra Uru, who talked about how it takes 7 years to decondition. And I would say that, that's just the first part, where you're just learning what you need to let go of, or to release, or no longer engage in, and how you need to, what the optimal way is for you to engage in life, so that you can fully experience what you're here to experience. Beyond that, because I'm in that second cycle of deconditioning, there's the immersion of it, the immersion of okay, this is following my strategy and the authority, but this is what feels better. And the image that comes to me when I think of this is like, how when you're getting, like, I wear glasses. Sometimes I wear glasses. Sometimes I just can't stand to have the weight on my face, but that's another story. But you know how if you wear glasses, you go to the optometrist and they're trying to fit you with the right prescription, and they go, they flip the lenses and they go, is this clearer or is this clearer? And you're dialing into, like, what's the right prescription? What looks clearer to you? It's the same thing with deconditioning, or with dialing into your frequency through of your design. It's like, okay, well, this is clear. I'm going to follow this path for a while. Oh, that's clearer. The lens gets flipped, and then it's like, oh, that's even clearer. That's it. And then there's like a deeper sinking into embodying who you are. And that takes some time. that takes some openness and gentleness and experience, like life experience, not like uh, well, some book learning experience. For those of you who are deep into human design, you know it's a complicated system, and there's some deep learning that has to go on if you're really going to dive deep. However, the experiment will take you there in little bits and pieces, and as you go, as your experiment gets deeper, you immerse yourself, or you find yourself immersed even deeply in your uh, in the pool of your frequency. And I'm seeing like the you in your aura, me in my aura, and oh, it feels like this is an authentic expression from what I've experienced so far. And then you live a little more life, you experiment a little more. Like I've been experimenting with narrow valleys and found out that narrow valleys, like the university setting, is a narrow valley experience. It's like the prototype, the stereotype for the narrow valley experience. But I digress. When you're in that frequency, when you're in the pool, it's like, oh yeah, this is deeper, this feels better, and maybe you go to the deep end, or maybe you go to the place where the sun is shining on the water. Oh, this feels more like me, this feels more like what's nourishing for me, or what's an expression of me. So I want to encourage you to take that image with you as you experiment and as you move through your experiences in life and integrate them with your understanding of your design. Okay, so where was I going with this, with my few thoughts here? One more revelation I've had relative to where I'm going with this channel and with my what's generally calling me into life. This is the last day of a course I'm taking on social and cultural issues. It's pertaining to counseling, but I'm always thinking about, like, how does it pertain to human design and spirituality and those kinds of things. And one of the things that really got clear for me, that snapped into place for me, and maybe you can relate to, like, the struggle of, especially if you're a projector, of like really creating consistent income from the passions that you have. And human design has been one of my passions, and it has taken me quite a few years to really master, to the level of my satisfaction, the knowledge of human design and how to deliver it to people. Within that, there's been a lot of inconsistency in my income. Sometimes, I'm right up there where I want to be, and at other times, I'm driving for Amazon Flex, to be honest, and my husband's filling in the gaps in terms of income, our household income. That to me has been a source of not shame necessarily, but like, it has plugged my low self-esteem issues that I've been working really hard to move through. It has brought to light self-esteem issues. And as a line 3, I'm here to be successful on the material plane. So in terms of like income, in terms of consistently being consistently supported in the material world, one of the revelations I had is, like, because human design is such a specialized way of understanding how we operate and interact with each other, it isn't very accessible to other people. And I started on this journey with sharing human design with this idea that, the masses need to have it. The masses need to understand this. And on a certain in a certain way, yes, I still agree with that. And there are people out there who are doing wonderful work to translate the complicated system of human design into ways that people can understand it and use it. I don't think that's me. I really don't. And I attract the people I attract. I attract the people that I'm here to guide and to serve, but I'm not here for the masses. And not in that respect. That's not my thing. And what I really came to understand is that I couldn't continue, or it wasn't correct for me to give away my energy or to overextend my energy in a way where I'm available to anybody and everybody, because that's just not how a projector can sustainably operate. However, in order to sustain myself on the material plane, I needed to charge way more than what was accessible to many of the people that I know I'm here to serve. And this course I've been taking has really dialed me into like the purpose for why I was born into the family I was born, the social economic status, the racial strata, the cultural background that I have, all of that, and why, and what I have in terms of my own gifts and experiences that need to be brought out so that I can serve populations that are that wouldn't have the $200 to have an initial session with me necessarily. And I consider that a reasonable exchange for the amount of time and energy that I put into an initial reading. So, hence, the more recognizable, accessible, let me go back and say, and I didn't have the energy to try and convince people or really educate people on what this system is so that they would actually get it and try to use it on their own. It was just exhausting me. So the revelation is that part of the reason energetically that I've had such an issue with creating consistent income through the lens of human design and the guiding and the coaching and all of these things that are sort of abstract to a lot of people and maybe inaccessible financially to some people, is because it was bumping up against a core value that I have around accessibility. And that's why I'm moving more into being open to being led into areas that are more recognizable and accessible by the mainstream or by those that I'm here to serve. And, and in doing so, there's not as much energy left for the deeper dives, the energy for, let's come out and educate specifically on the chart and try to convince people that this is what they need to learn and all of that stuff. It's just not going to work. Not for me, at least. So hence this shift. Hence this shift into an environment where I get to use skills that people readily recognize. And then perhaps some of those people are my human design people as well. And I will be paid to maybe introduce them to that deeper dive. And I want to end with this one awareness. First of all, if that resonates with you, take it and use it. If you've been struggling with income and consistent income, you may want to take a look at the way that you're creating income and how that aligns with or doesn't align with some of your core values. Because if you are operating or running your business in conflict with some of your core values, you're not you're not going to get very far. And then I want to end on one more thought. Let me see if I can pull it back. What was that one thought? Bear with me. I may have to save that one thought for another time because it just left. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me on this rambling. And until the next time, be well.